warm welcome to Powered4.tv Big Fight Weekly episode 19, and have we got a special guest for you? See you on the other side after this new intro. Right, different way of doing the show as we open today. We've got a special guest all the way from Hawaii. Chris has worked to get people on. We've got one hell of a guest. Chris, do the intro for our guest today on the show.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's a former Bellator light heavyweight champion, the first UK champion in America. Put your hands together for Liam McGeary.
Good morning.
How you doing, mate?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. So let's start off with things, because I know we're on the time limit because you've got training to get to. Let's have a small introduction of how you broke into mixed martial arts from there. I
moved over to Jersey when I think I was about 20. I don't even know how old I was. I was in my 20s, and there was a club over there. And I just went, Gracie Baja, Channel Islands. I went and trained there a couple of times, and basically just took it from there, really. My friend Michael Kanyas started a show, the Rumble on the Rock. I got a fight on there. My first fight I missed because of injury, but then the second fight I came in, and I think I won in like just under a minute or something like that. And then it just kind of skyrocketed from there. And I was only 27. I think I was 27 at the time at the start.
So quite under the radar when you first started, because it was your first two fights were in Jersey, UK, weren't they? Was it before you went to? Right. And then you went to New Jersey in America. Then for your third fight in?
Third fight, yeah. And then and a bit of a journey.
Well, it's a bit.
Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Liam. Were you at light heavyweight in the early days of your career?
Yeah, I've always been light heavyweight. I was only skinny like before I started really training. I think it's like 93 kilos. Is it in England? Yeah. So 93. I was never 93 kilos. I was stood fighting Sean Lomas with a pair of jeans on the scale at 91 kilos, and that's not cutting any weight. Not like literally having a burger or something before I went for the weigh-ins. So I really never used to cut weight.
What was your transition then? So obviously you trained. You obviously trained in the UK when you were fighting in the UK, or were you training in America?
No, I never trained.
So you went straight into battle then?
Pretty much. Like I went to I started boxing when I was younger. Sorry, man. I started boxing when I was younger, but I wasn't very good. And I just worked in construction, drinking and just having parties and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. The recession
started for you, mate.
Exactly. Hey, it's 7 o'clock in the morning here. So I just got my coffee. The second cup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, so no, I worked in construction, mate. Like, the recession kicked in and everything stopped. I was delivering TVs for this company, Fortuna, and it was crap, you know what I mean? But at least I wasn't so tired, so I could finish work quickly and then go to the gym, train for about 5-6 hours, and then go home. You know, so yeah, it was just a timing thing, and I guess it was the right time for me to go forward and pursue this fight career.
Obviously, you've had 3 fights. Was it your fourth or fifth fight? You joined Bellator. Then was it your fourth? Or was it your fifth?
No, I think it was my fourth.
Your fourth fight. Explain to me to us how did that go about then? How did they sort of open the door for you to join Bellator?
So I was training at Kurt Pellegrino's gym in New Jersey, and nothing was kind of happening. There's a load of small guys at that gym, So I was like, lads, you're not really paying too much attention. I understand, the new guys just come in. You don't, you've got plenty of other fighters to look after. I'll go find someone who's my own size. No, wait. Give me 5 minutes, right? He comes back out of the office. He's like, I've got you a contract with Bellator. I was like, well, so that is all I had to do, just basically threat to leave the gym, and you get me a contract. So, all right, sound. But because of the visa that I was on, I had to go home, back to England, sort out all the visas and paperwork and things like that, and then come back to America, which took, I think it took about 8 months to sort out the first time. So I was gone a bit. Then as soon as I came back, then that's when I started, and I had the debut. I can't even remember the dude's name now. Wrestler. I know it was a wrestler. Anton Talamantes, that's the one.
And you finished him as well.
Yeah. I was trying to kick them in the head. That would have been cruel.
Great introduction to Bellator, as you doing that. As we go into Bellator, so your first 8 fights, you obviously won them all. How was that though? Because obviously you've just come in, so I suppose people who are watching Bellator were like, "Who's this Liam McGeary guy?" And you've just rattled off 8 fights in a row, winning them all. How did that feel in yourself?
I mean, to be honest, it all happened so quick. I don't think I give it time to sink in. When it did sink in, then it was too late. Then I was already injured. But I think because it was just one fight after another, I literally would finish one fight, have a week off, and then I'd be straight back in the gym. Sometimes even back in the gym the same week. So I just kind of carried on with the motion and just let it go and just followed wherever it went to the world title.
How were you mentally, Liam? Big arenas over there, going into that. How was it the mental side for you?
The mental side wasn't so bad. Like I say, I didn't think about it. I knew what I was going in there to fight. Right, I've been fighting all my life. It was just another punch up that I was just getting ready for. And when you're getting ready for a war, I don't really think about too much of what's going on around me. I was single, I was living on my own. I was staying in a place in the Bronx. I was getting the train to the gym every day. I had my headphones in, and it really, life outside my own bubble, I didn't really care for it. It didn't bother me. You know what I mean? I knew what I was supposed to do. I was going into a fight. I knew that the guy was going to hurt me, so I wanted to hurt him before. So it really didn't leave room for any other things that was going on, which is a shame because I miss birthdays, weddings, christenings, funerals, everything, but this is the path of the warrior. If you want to succeed, then you've got to make all these sacrifices to go on. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to get distracted and then be like, you know what, I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah. And then it's too late. You've lost the focus.
It's a selfish sport, though, isn't it? Really, you have to look after yourself, and you are the number one in your life. There's nothing else ever. You're in that tunnel, and you're going straight. There's nothing else stopping you. You know what I mean? You haven't got no distractions. You have to think of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's just such a dangerous sport. Anything can happen, and you have to be on it. You have to be ready, and you have to be in shape. That's the most important thing.
I want to get to your thoughts now of you becoming the champion. You beat Newton, didn't you? Unanimous decision. You become I was speaking to Stuart before we went live, and I'm quite tiffed with this because you are the first UK champion over in America. Before Michael Bisping. Yeah.
Before Conor McGregor.
Before Conor McGregor, but he's Irish, so it's just a bit different, isn't it? But you didn't get the recognition. In my eyes, as a fan and someone who watches a lot of MMA, and I follow UK fighters especially, because that's what we do, isn't it? Like football, we follow our own. You didn't get the recognition. You didn't get the recognition as much as the likes of Michael Bisping did.
I thought about that the other day, actually. And I was the same person. I'm the world champion, but they just didn't promote me enough, I don't think. All I was supposed to do was fight. You know what I mean? That was what I was supposed to do. The promotion is supposed to promote and promote their champions, and I never felt that. But plus, after Tito Ortiz, the very next day I was in surgery, so I had that was 2015. So, mate, it's just been one surgery after another, to be honest with you. So, and like I say, this game is very tough. It's very hard on the body. I'm getting older now, so the injuries don't heal up as quick. So I had that knee surgery after Tito Ortiz, and then it was just a slippery slide, really. And I've just been trying to get back to the fitness of where I was at and where my body was at. But like I say, coming up to 39 now, so it took a battering over the last few years. So we'll see. You know what I mean?
Did the UK press not contact you when you won? Did you not get any of that at all?
Nah, not really. Nah. And again, to be honest with you, mate, it didn't really bother me. It didn't really bother me too much at the time. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, you should be doing it. You should. I was like, fucking hell, mate. There should be a lot of things going on, but all I know is I'm going to the gym. I'm going to go train, and I'll worry about whatever I need to worry about afterwards. You know what I mean? And now I'm thinking about it. It's like, well, it is what it is. You know, this is what this game is. I see how like all the other fighters, they promote this, they just say that, they're like talking shit down the microphone.
Yeah,
that just wasn't me, man. I came from the era of fighters where with fighters like we just fight, not
fighters fight.
Yeah, you know, not so much as a showman as much as the professional wrestling side of things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It wasn't that wasn't the sport when I got into it. It was pure MMA fighting. They were badass motherfuckers. I kind of wish, being that age I am, I kind of think now, maybe if I had gotten back into it 20 years ago, like when I was half my age, what would have happened? But again, I was running around France at 20 years old, so like I wouldn't have lived the life that I lived before MMA to make me the person who I was, to become the champion, to think, well, I don't necessarily actually need my name and face blasted all over the place. If they don't want to do it, I know I won the belt. My mates know I won the belt. My family know I won the belt. And to be honest with you, that's all that mattered, really. And everyone else was just an added bonus. You know what I'm saying?
I do, yeah, but it frustrates me as a fan. And as I said, me and Stuart, we are avid UK fans of, the mixed martial arts, in Bellator, in UFC, in ONE FC, in PFL, and the list goes on. So I like, you should have got the recognition, and I like Michael Bisping as well, and I was chuffed when he won as well, but I was more chuffed when you won because you were the first to do it. You were, that's something you can never lose. That is in your legacy now.
Yeah.
I felt that I was there with you when I watched it because I've been wanting a UK guy, to come in and actually do this. But what makes me think now is if that was you and you did that in the UFC, the whole different ball game you would have got there. You would have been known then, and everybody would have known. And it just frustrates me a tad that you don't get that recognition, and everyone else just goes straight to Michael Bisping beating Luke Rockhold, where in fact, obviously, you were the guy. You were the first. That's what I can say. That's what really sort of grinds my gears about it, really. But you still did it.
I had a few interviews where Bisping, he's like, "Yeah, I'm the first English UFC champion." And I'm like, "Yeah, you catch yourself there, mate." Like, I understand, yeah.
See, that's annoying as well. You should have got the recognition before him.
Should have, could have.
Yeah.
5 years ago now, you know what I mean? Now I'm sitting in Hawaii drinking a cup of coffee, like. So I got a gym which I'm opening up. So I get
life's good.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I get the frustration, but I've been frustrated. I've been pissed off. I've been annoyed. I've been all of those emotions, and that's like, well, it's past. It's done. It's now time to move on for the next thing. So, the most frustrating part is my jaw and my body. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing I now got to worry about.
Will you get back in? Will you get back in there? It's been 2019, the last fight.
Phil Davis.
Do you have any aspirations to get back in?
Yeah, man. But so the last couple of years have been rough, like with Corona and the jaw injury. And I managed to get back to America, and I just found out I need to go for a third procedure on my jaw. So it's going to be another 6 months. So like, I don't know. Like I say, man, this game is fucking rough. I never thought I'd never break my jaw or Like hands, legs, arms, okay, right, but the jaw, just never even thought about it, you know. But yeah, third procedure, another like. So I do, mate. I do want to get into it, and I really do. But like, I'm not going in there half like broken. I did that way too many times. Too old for that shit now. Like, let me fix myself up.
It must frustrate you then when you're watching the Bellator light heavyweight Grand Prix, because you were fit and ready. You'd be there.
The one place that was my place, you know. I think they got some. I don't even know who he was, what his name was, or anything. They put that one guy in there. I think against Corey.
Jacek Mergdov.
Yeah, you know, and that was my spot. But I was stuck in England, you know, so I could. And you know, England's been like, I don't know how it is now, but the gyms, they closed the gyms down fucking Boxing Day. So I was training and teaching and doing well. Then all of a sudden it closes down in Boxing Day, and then it's nothing. So like, it's all been frustrating, man. It's all been, but you get frustrated, you get pissed off about it, and then what are you going to do?
Take it out on somebody at the gym.
You can't, it's fucking closed. So like, I went and threw a load of steel around, which was the next best thing, you know what I mean? So I put like 200 ton of steel in about 4 or 5 weeks. So I just told my boss, just give me the drawings, leave me alone, let me fucking throw the steel in, and I'll be all fine.
I think we need to. Sorry, go on, Chris. You go first, pal.
No. Honestly, you go first. It's fine.
I think we need to ask you about Liam McGeary's Fight Club MMA and submission grappling there in the lovely Honolulu in Hawaii, and what's happening with that.
And how did you get to Hawaii? How did that all come about?
I met my wife in New York, and then sort of just started a family, and then she lives in Hawaii. So all right, I'll be on a plane there. I'll be there soon.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, but I mean, I've wanted to open up somewhere for a long time. Again, the frustrations of the jaw of the last 2 years, basically. And any time before that, I was too busy fighting to pay attention and to put all my focus in on other fighters. But now things are kind of slowing up. I've got this another 6 month gap. So I was like, right, I'm here. I can talk. This next procedure I'm not gonna get wired up afterwards. So at least that's a plus thing for this one. Yeah. So I just think the timing is right now to open up and see where we go. But I've got other plans as well. So I just got them in there. So just stay tuned. There's a lot going on. I've been sitting there pondering for the last 2 years. That's pretty much it.
We'll get you back on as well, and you can promote all that with us. You know what I mean? Once you've got something, if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, man, for sure. Hopefully it'll be in the UK as well. So
that'd be brilliant.
That's my plan. Like
keeping yourself busy, which is good as well.
Yeah, maybe I've got 3 kids. That keeps me fucking busy.
I'm with you with that, mate. I've got 3 kids myself, and we've all just come
out. God.
Yeah,
it just happens all of a sudden, and like everything's calm. Then it just like, what the hell? This has gone wrong. That's gone wrong. It's like chaos.
Yeah.
You two are putting me off here. That I haven't got any kids yet. You're not selling it.
You have to turn into an octopus, mate.
Yeah, they're great fun catching one in one arm and the other in the other one. The other one's trying to get into the toilet. You're like trying to clean your teeth. Like, fucking hell, kids.
It's the biggest battle. It's bigger than your battles in the cage, Liam.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
They can push buttons that no fighter could ever push.
Jesus. Yeah.
I was going to ask you as well.
One of them hits terrible threes now as well, so it's just like, no.
I'm past that. Mine's my oldest is 14, so he's going through the teenager stage now.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. That I got to look forward to.
And I've got 2 girls who are 9 and 5, so they're placid. Do you mean you can give them YouTube and they can disappear for the day normally?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about you fought Linton Vassell, didn't you? Bellator London. And I just want to know, how does it feel to fight a fellow Brit when you're in the bigger company and you were both quite close in the rankings? The word I'm looking for is, do you feel like I don't really want to fight a fellow Brit, I'd rather fight someone else, or does it not really matter the way you look at it?
Yeah, it didn't really matter the way I looked at it. We're friends, you know what I mean? So it wasn't a case of like I was fighting. We needed to make enemies or anything like that. You know what I mean? So we both spoke. We was like, look, we're just gonna get paid and fucking got to do what we got to do.
Yes.
Simple as that. We both need to put food in front of us, so like, pay our bills. Let's go do what we got to do, and that's all that happened. I ain't even seen that fight yet. That's a long time ago.
I watched a couple today. I had to rewatch an Nemkov fight and Phil Davis, your second Phil Davis fight, obviously your last one. I mean, I'm still impressed with whatever you were doing. You know, your movement was still fantastic. Your cardio, and especially against Nemkov and those leg kicks you were getting. You know, most people would be like, "Yeah, I've had enough by the first, second round." But you went, all the way to the third round, and you took a lot of kicks.
Nemkov, I had no right being in that cage. I just got off. I broke my thumb. I broke my thumb 7 weeks prior to that fight. And then when the cast came off and the pins came out, then I had 6 weeks to train for Nemkov. I couldn't even throw my right hand. People are asking me, why didn't you switch answers? So I never had a right hand. Like, I never threw one right hand, or if I did, it was just very weak.
Can you hide? Is it possible to hide an injury, or are you getting tested and are they checking you out?
I mean, you get checked out, right? But same as anything. Do you feel all right? Yeah. You ready to go? Yeah. Let's go. Inside it's like, fuck you know what you doing to me? We can't do this, man.
But you've had two difficult injuries, because can you tell me where in your second Phil Davis fight is where you felt the jaw go? Or what part?
First round or second round? He kicked me in the face as I was getting up. It was an illegal kick, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
You know, and I felt a crack, right? And I was like, that can't be good. So I kind of just kept my mouth, just bit down on my mouthpiece and just carried on. And the second round, it was hurting in the end between the second and third round. And my coach gave me this almighty speech. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just going to go out. So I didn't say anything. I just stood up, went out, and then I thought it was going pretty well until he hit me with that jab. And then I didn't even know how long was left. But my mouth must have been open a little bit, and it kind of, as he hit me, oh my God! Like, I watched the video. I turned the fight off when I heard that. I was like, I know how this ends, but dude, oh my God, I've never felt pain like it. And I put myself through some fucking torturous things, right? But that was just next level.
I was gonna go
on my face. Oh.
Yeah, but he had you on the floor. He had you on the back mount, didn't he? And he was sort of going over the top of you, didn't he? When you were down, and you were sort of trying to block.
Well, he hit me in the side of the face. Well, it was this side. So he hit me in the side of the face of the jaw, right? So I kind of just turned my head and put my face on the side of the mat, right? And I covered my other head up the side.
Yeah.
The referee should have been stopping the fight because of this fucking earpiece before that. He should have stopped the fight because of a verbal tap, right? He didn't. And then he reached round, and as he reached round, he grabbed my face, and that was the one where I was like, it felt like electric shock shot up to my brain and all the way down my body. I was like, nah, get off me, please. I was like, enough. He's like, what? I said, dude, you broke my jaw. He said, I fucking knew you weren't going to tap from that. People are like, you tap from a punch. I said, mate, you get the fuck in here and break your jaw and then continue fighting and tell me when you're going to tap.
We're all as fans, we're all full of it, aren't we? But until you get in there, listening to know what you've been through, like different. Everyone's an expert, aren't they?
Turn you off, Ronald.
I don't know. Can you hear us?
No, these bloody speakers. Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Nah, hold on.
We have a still shot of Liam McGeary instead now.
He's just saying that was
You there?
Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, well, we'll get him back on as soon as he can. I think we only had a couple more minutes left of his time.
Yeah. I wanted to ask him a bit more about like tips for guys coming in to the biz.
Oh no, he's gone again.
Oh, okay.
He is trying to get back on. Yeah, we just messed.
He is all the way in Hawaii. These things do happen when you're live. These things happen.
I've got him back.
Bear with us. Here we go.
Here we go. I think I knocked the button on the earpiece. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Right, we're back.
Chris.
I don't know. I don't want to give too much time because obviously I know you've got training in half an hour, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
I've got to go open up in 30 minutes.
So we've got 2 questions left. So I'll fire mine and Stuart will go after myself. I want to go back to the whole Tito thing because obviously my first ever MMA fight I ever watched was the first ever Tito and Liddell fight, and then I fell in love then, and I was sold for life.
I think I watched the same one.
Oh, there you go, then. See, it was a great fight. You beat Tito, and you were the first person to submit him. And when I saw that, you being an English guy, and yes, I am biased when it comes to UK fighters. I'm not going to lie, that's the way I am. But when you beat him, and you beat him by submission, mate, I could have punched a hole in the wall with loved it.
Yeah. No, I was buzzing with that one, and I kind of knew that I knew what he was going to try and do. We've been working high elbow guillotines in the gym like the last few weeks, and I do not know why. When he shot in for that takedown, I went for a high elbow guillotine. I was like, I can't even get my hands around this dude's neck, so I was like trying to struggle there. I was like, yeah. So he ended up in the position which I kind of figured that he would, but I knew he was going to put that pressure down on top of me. So I was like, man, I think I even told him, we go down to the ground, I'm going to submit you. Yeah. In Tito's fashion. Told you.
I've got a picture. We usually do this when we do our show. So I thought this was great, and I got on a picture. It'll come up on your screen now. Just love that picture.
Oh, yeah.
Love that picture.
He wouldn't stop looking at me.
At least you didn't get any of his cheesy sort of fight lines. Just him and Chael Sonnen. I had to turn it off after a while because it was dreadful. I know Chael Sonnen can speak, and Chael's very good, but Tito, I didn't realize how bad he was.
Didn't he have like a juice carton? He's got crushed a juice carton or something. Like, yeah.
Pro wrestling, but borrowing from pro wrestling for build-up sometimes. That's where it's gone to now, and it's like, man, I'm gonna fucking fuck you up in the cage, right? I don't want to sit there and make yourself look like a clown and try and be fucking, I'm gonna do this to you, and I'm gonna do that, like crush you like a juice can. I'm gonna punch you in the face and see how you fucking take that, right? Afterwards, I'm gonna kick you in the leg, right? Let's see how we go from there.
Stuart, have you got any last one?
I have. Before you go, because we know you're busy, you've got to get down to the gym. Some tips. You're going to be training people at the gym, but tips for guys that want to get into MMA and feel that they could get maybe to pro level. Liam McGeary's tips.
My tip: keep going. When you've got that little voice in your head that says, "Oh no, you can't stop," keep going. Push past it. Break past it. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to anybody else. Just keep pushing on. You're never going to make you. Watch me, right? That's all you got to say, and just keep doing. Just keep doing you.
Perfectly put. Chris,
I think it's the best bit of advice I can give.
Absolutely.
Don't eat yellow snow.
Well, that depends if you had too many beers. Though weird things can happen then. I'm going to ask you as well before you go. Obviously, are you not interested in the England-Germany game? Obviously, me and Stuart on because we're here with you. But is that any football?
I haven't followed any of the football. My mates usually phone me up and tell me what's going on. I might see the odd highlight, but again, 3 kids, different time zone. We're 11 hours behind you. So, different time zones.
I obviously, with having 3 kids myself, I completely, I can meet you halfway with this. Okay then, because obviously I know you've got the gym in half an hour, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. I've been trying so many fighters to jump on and have a conversation with us, and you're the first person that actually replied to me and was willing to come on. So, I was
have a chat with my coffee, mate.
We appreciate it, man.
And I proper boast you replied to me and willing to come on. So hopefully people will see you and do jump on afterwards. But I really appreciate you coming on, mate. And hopefully we can get you back on in a short time, and we can go talk about your gym and hopefully a fight that's coming up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get the surgery done and then and see where we go from there. All right, boys.
Okay. Thank you very much, Liam McGeary.
Star, mate. Star. Take care, fella.
Bye.
And I think it's time now to go to break. That was Liam McGeary, former light heavyweight champion. He's very busy. He's got his gym opening. He's training the Stars of Tomorrow there in Honolulu, Hawaii, should I say. Chris, show us what Power4.tv have got on offer on demand.
I can do that for you, mate.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to enjoy Jesse's demise.
The babyface Pitbull is a mark for himself.
The fantastic Pro Wrestling for You, PW for You, available now on Power4.tv on demand. $7.99 a month. So many promotions worldwide now. New shows coming up as events are back on as well. So there's going to be chock to the nines. Loads of stuff coming up on Power4.tv.
So get subscribing. And also, you can watch us for free on their own page. So come on.
There you go. There you go. So
I'm going to throw some comments in because I feel like let's get some of them out and see how everyone's feeling, because we have got some comments, shockingly, if the football's on.
It's coming home. England, Carnage Pain. The first half wasn't great, was it? Let's be fair. It was a bit of a non-event. Kane should have buried one as well. Don't know how it's going on now into the second half. But
I think it's still 0-0. I think it is.
Oh, okay. El Sacano, did Scott Steiner ever do? I presume it's going to be MMA. Heard he was a great wrestler. Yeah, collegiate wrestler. He had all the skills. Him and Rick at Michigan. Standouts in wrestling, in amateur wrestling, collegiate wrestling. So, yeah, I'm surprised. I think just wrestling and age, maybe, wasn't it? By the time he could have maybe thought about going into MMA, was he a bit too old by then?
Yeah, but he hammered loads of steroids, so you know what I mean. He would have pissed hot constantly, so he'd never get a fight.
I've met Scott Steiner, who's lovely. He's really genuinely. He was great. He was great.
Not denying that. I just think, you know what I mean. He did have.
I was frightened. I was frightened beforehand, but I was like, I've got to go meet him. He's there. He was in his NWO t-shirt. So I'm going over. So yeah, and he was great. Had a quick chat with him, took the photo and went on my merry way.
Well, I've got one here from Richard Connell.
Surprised you boys ain't watching the football. Yes, we didn't put this one right at the time. We should have done, really. But why is the England-Germany game not on at 8? You know, and obviously they did the fixtures and stuff out in time.
It should have been at 8 o'clock. But at the same time, you know, I mean, we only get a limited window for Liam McGeary. And, you know, as I say, as we spoke to him, he's got his training camp at his own gym. You know, so you know, I mean, it's a limited window, so we sort of have to jump on these sort of things. But I'm an Evertonian before England anyway, so I'm not asked.
I'll watch the highlights later. I'll watch the 8 o'clock game as well.
We've got one from our good friend Brett Thomas.
Brett Thomas, what's his views on Logan Paul's ability as a fighter in a draw? Chris, I put a link in last live of Logan Paul's NCAA Division 1 highlights because you questioned his NCAA credentials, didn't you? He was great. Better record than Hager. So we will get Liam McGeary back on. we've got that relationship now Chris, has sorted that. So, yeah, we'll get him back on next time and we will ask him your question about Logan Paul's ability. It's just we were limited. We were limited, weren't we, Chris? We had to but yeah, Brett, we'll get your question to him. We'll definitely get him back on and we'll remember to ask him that 100%.
And regards to his question to me is, the thing is, Brett, when we finish the show, all your comments disappear until the actual page, the show goes on to Powered 4 on YouTube. So that's the only time the comments come back. I haven't had the time because I've been obviously trying to prep for Liam McGeary. But don't worry, mate. I'll go back today and I'll watch those links you sent me of Logan Paul. And then next Tuesday we're back, Stuart? Are we on a different day?
Yeah, we're all right for Tuesday next week, mate. By the way, Raheem Sterling 1-0, 75th minute.
Oh, nice.
So there we go. They won it. So there we go. Yeah,
but, yeah. Next Tuesday, Brett, I'll watch them before it. I'll write some notes, and me and you can have a big back and forward about how we both feel.
Anything else, Chris?
From our own Powered 4 TV team.
Yeah, John and Rich will be watching the game, I'm sure. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. We've enjoyed it today so far. Having an interview as well. Brilliant. Really good for us. Doing it live as well. Big up on our amazing guests. Yeah, Chris worked his magic there. Brilliant. And it was great having Liam on. What a great guy. Really what a great guy. Down amazing to earth. Yeah. Just goes to show he doesn't want to have all the big, wrestling style stuff beforehand. He just wants to get in there and do it. Sorry, Chris.
No, it's fine. No, he's a fighter's fight, as he said, though. He's old school. He just wants to get in there and bang. And you can't not appreciate that. You know what I mean? That's his fight mentality, and you can't take any hats off for it. He's an amazing guy, and I can't wait till we can get him back on again. This one's from our good friend Albert and my other co-host of the show called The Art of Partying, which you can always find on YouTube as well. We had an episode on Saturday just gone. UK Chris and Stu. Hats off to you, Albert. Nice to see you, mate.
All right, Albie. So yes, are we getting into UFC Fight Night? The results, a couple of fights, and we are going to have. It is Cyril Gane, one of Chris's tips many months ago, one of his top 3 fighters to watch, with a close victory over Volkov. But I thought he used his speed well in the fight, Chris.
I've said to you about his footwork. I think his footwork is immaculate for a heavyweight. He moves like a light heavyweight. He moves like a middleweight. He is always on the go. I thought Volkov did really well with the leg kicks, though. He kept them away. He kept Gane at bay in the first 2 rounds. And I thought for the first 2 rounds, they were very, very close rounds between them. I think you could easily say, not easily, but I think you can argue that Volkov won the first 2 because I think he did more with the leg kicks. Gane, I think, was working him out and finding his feet. And in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, mate, I think Gane changed it and went from, the way he fought, Rosenstrike, where he picked him apart, didn't he? I think in this fight, he took Volkov and he went in and went strike for strike with him. And he went aggressive, didn't he? He really put it on him. And he kept them mixing things up. I think he did threaten the takedown. So he tried to sort of confuse Volkov of what he's going to do next. I was really impressed by Gane, but I was really impressed by Volkov. Again, 2 fighters put it on the line. Really showing that what their styles and skills are. And, the heavyweight division at the moment is so open. And I've got obviously some news to break as well later on in the show revolving Gane. But Stuart, I want to speak to you about some nasties that were in this fight, the eye pokes.
And Herb Dean allowed that to go, and as eye pokes go, as you say, it wasn't great, was it? So he wasn't deducted any points, was he? And then we had 50-45, 50-45, 49-46. I'd be leaning to 49-46, maybe. Or do you think that was still a bit wide?
I think still a bit wide because I say you could argue that Volkov won the first 2.
Yeah, he was doing well. He was doing well with the kicks, 100%. Just to reiterate, yeah, I felt. Gane, it was a bit of a problem for Gane to solve as it went
first
on.
It was, yeah. But the eye pokes were bad, weren't they? The third one they did in the 5th round, and you saw, was it like here, or was it those 2 that went in?
Yeah.
In Volkov's, straight in his eye. And I think, hats off to Volkov because he could easily, but no, I'm not fighting. And, I think possibly, I'm not sure 100% if it would have been this, but Volkov could have won by DQ. You know what I mean? He could have gone down that route.
Yeah, we've seen.
How many have we seen that? Yeah,
in more recent times, we've seen it being given. So Herb Dean, a ref the caliber of Herb Dean, I think it shocked a few people. You read in the press about the fight and stuff. They were like, surely he should have been deducted some points. And like you say, sometimes it can lead to a DQ, depending on how bad it's been. It was a nasty one. I think his hand speed. I just think Gane's hand speed. He had to fight. He had Volkov on the back foot as that fight went on, didn't he? I think he learned what he needed to do. So yeah, a great performance again, Chris. You touted him months and months ago, and he's 9-0 now.
I think that was our first episode, wasn't it?
Was it the first? Was it?
Was it the first or the second episode?
I'm sure. Yeah. So he's doing well for you, bud.
The two up the three are doing well.
Yeah, you'll take that. You'll take that, mate.
Oh yeah, all day. Okay, so I'll move on to our next one, which is Renato Moicano versus England's Jai Herbert. I'll just get the photo up now. This is pretty much, Stuart, how the fight went. For the 2 rounds it existed for. Moicano, I thought, Stuart, is just levels above when it comes to grappling. I did say this last week that obviously I didn't think Moicano could get him down. I just thought a featherweight coming up to welterweight, and Jai Herbert being a pure welterweight, the strength would show, but it didn't. And Moicano, just did what he wanted to do and threw him around as well. Took them full mount a few times. Jai Herbert tried to defend with the butterfly guard, but obviously didn't do anything else with that. Moicano then obviously transitioned the butterfly into the side mount, into the back mount, and obviously finished with the rear naked choke, to finish the fight. What was your thoughts? Do you think Jai Herbert maybe?
It was what I've written down. From what I could see, repeated takedowns to nullify Jai's striking ability, which he couldn't get him. Yeah, he landed a few times, but then he just could get him. He got him down. It was certainly dominant from a grappling standpoint. He used his grappling to great effect, But what I struggle with now is Jai Herbert's on 2 back-to-back losses. What would happen if he loses the next one? And it's free. It's free losses. What happens then with him? He's our UK prospect, isn't he?
Well, yeah. Big things when he came out of Cage Warriors. He was really good in Cage Warriors. The thing is, he's had a knockout loss. He's had a submission loss now. Surely he has to win his next fight. I think because you know what UFC are like. They're not ashamed to cut you. And there's plenty of hungry UK fighters, sitting in the back waiting to jump in. So hopefully he can turn this round and we can get Jai Herbert on the winning, back on a winning column and get him into a streak. Because I have a lot of hope for him, and I enjoyed him through Cage Warriors. So it's a bit gutting to see one of our representatives from the UK, lose 2 straight on the bounce. But hopefully this gives him a good kick up the arse and he comes back and, gets in the winning column.
Renato Moicano in the win column. Jai Herbert, we'll see in the next fight. He's going to need a win. There's pressure. There's pressure on him now. There's pressure on him. He's got to get a W in the next fight. Fingers crossed for him. We want him to do well. We want our UK fighters to do well. But yeah, Moicano just used his grappling to full effect, got him down. Yeah. And superb victory by rear naked choke, Chris.
Well, I said to you, like I said last week, Moicano's got his levels above in the grappling, and that's the way it is. Well, we'll move on to the news that broke last night. So, news from left field, Stuart. I didn't see this one coming, but I'd love to see what your views are on this. I'll just get the picture up now, mate.
Well, they know each other well, don't they? So.
No, mate. That picture's been made, pal.
Been made? It looks like they've been in with one another there.
Mate, that's a good Photoshop.
That's amazing. Why am I saying they've been in together? So what's going on, Chris? What's the issue? What's the problem? What's going on with Ngannou?
Right. So before I get to Ngannou, because I've got another picture, Dana White and Ngannou's manager have a bit of a tit for tat on Twitter, but I'll put that up in a minute so people can have a good read about it, and yourself, Stuart, because obviously you haven't read it yourself. When we spoke about Ngannou Lewis, I think it was a couple of episodes back, didn't we? And I said to you, the 7th of August, this fight was planned, and this is where they were going. It was Ngannou, Derek Lewis for the heavyweight title. And all of a sudden now I've been obviously trying to research as much as I can today from what information's out. Apparently Ngannou had conflicts scheduling conflicts for that date. So basically, UFC, from what I've read and what I can tell, I've been like, right, okay, if you can't fight then, we'll just get someone else in. But obviously, instead of just having, Derek Lewis and Ngannou in September, October, they've basically just stuck the middle finger up in a way and said, like, well...
Made an example.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, where was Ngannou's interim title when Miocic and Daniel Cormier fought for 3 years? Because they fought each other in 3 years. If you look at it, the way the heavyweight title was defended, it was 2018, 2019, and 2020, and it all was Miocic versus Daniel Cormier. There was no one else in the title picture, but Ngannou was knocking people out. So where was his interim title? You know what I mean? If they're going to do this and go this route, then where was, I can see the argument. But what I'll bring up now is what broke earlier this morning, probably late last night in America. This is Dana White and Francis Ngannou's manager. So as you can see, it's hard to see who's telling the truth, and
not many people get the better of Dana, though, don't we? We have this like spat war of words. The problem you got here is, he's not gonna. Yeah, it's just crazy. But they're saying, September was good for them. But I think it's a quick turnaround for Cyril Gane as well. He's gone the 5 rounds with Volkov. Volkov was 5th in the division as well. I think there's a very quick turnaround for him, and it'll be a dangerous fight for him as well. Power, there's a lot of power coming the other way. You'd probably say I'll probably be veering towards Cyril Gane, Chris.
Well, the bookie, he's bookie's favourite, mate. He's bookie's favourite to win. I myself, I don't know if I agree, because Derek Lewis has looked soul-destroying with punches. The 2 fights we've covered since we've been alive as a show, Big Fight Weekly. I think it was like our 2nd episode in, and he knocked out Curtis Blades. If you remember, just hit him with a nice uppercut and cleared his brain. It's not a fight I think Gane's going to have to overlook. I think he's going to have to be very calm and collect and use his footwork with Derek Lewis. The thing is, I don't know if Gane can take a Derek Lewis punch, because if he can't take that punch, he can't take Ngannou. But I'm going to see it, and I'm excited to see it, because I love Cyril Gane. I love everything about him. His skill set is brilliant. Okay, he's not a flashy, he's not a knockout artist, but what he does is fantastic. With Derek Lewis, it's a different flip of the coin, isn't he? Derek Lewis comes to hurt. Derek Lewis hits you like a train. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
It's dangerous. It's dangerous for him. It really is. Lewis has been brilliant. He's he leaves it on the cage. They all leave it in the cage, but I just feel it's set up. As at the moment, it's targeted as well.
Yes.
That's the key. That's the key word there. At the moment, but it looks like Dana's in a headspace where he will just book that fight, and he's not listening to the management of Ngannou at all. It's happened time and time again over the years. Nobody will get one over on him. It just won't happen.
I've got a quick comment from one of our mates here, Justin Clapper.
Hello, Justin. Chris and Stu, you two are killing it every week. Keep it up. I'd love to see a special program where you guys review some early UFC pay-per-views. Chris would do that with you, Clapper. Chris would do that. Yeah, why not? But that's been discussed actually.
It has been discussed.
Rich has spoken about that a month and a half ago, something like that. So it's that they Clapper. If you've got spare time, definitely come in on that. So are we going into the boxing?
We are going into the boxing, right? Let me get the banner up for you, pal. Are we going for Lomachenko, innit?
Yeah, Vasily. Yeah, Vasily Lomachenko, former pound-for-pound king, back, beating Nakatani. We did say it'd be one of those matches whereby he could showcase. And I tell you what, he blew him out. He didn't rest on his laurels. He didn't sit back. It was very much come forward, and a fantastic knockout, a superb knockout. He put him down to the canvas twice. He looked ruthless. And, he'd be waiting now for the winner of Lopez and Gambosis Jr. But as you said, Chris, I was looking and they're saying December, January, February for him to fight again. But you said, why not give him a fight in between? Because obviously them two, because of COVID, it's been rescheduled for August. So maybe they will. You're all for a tune-up fight for Vasily, aren't you?
Well, you might listen. We both spoke about this fight last week, and we both knew. Well, we weren't sure what he was going to do. Was he just going to get the rounds in, or was he just going to go in there and blow Nakatani away? I think he did a bit of both, didn't he? He took the rounds, felt, must have felt really good, and then obviously finished. He could have finished Nakatani at any time. Let's be honest. He was touching him up everywhere. Every punch was getting through. Every punch, every strike, everything he moved. Nakatani couldn't even touch him, really, could he? A few body shots he got him with, didn't he? But, we can see Lomachenko was sort of smiling as he got hit, like to say, I'm having a bit of fun. Yeah, he could get in and he could fight someone else. He doesn't have to wait. Did you say, was it late? Is it late this year?
They're calling December, January, February for him to get in. He said, I'm waiting. He actually said, I'm waiting, but maybe, it's too long.
September.
To get back in. I'm sure, they can get him an opponent. And I think, to be honest with you, whoever comes through that, he wasn't expected to lose to Lopez. He had a bad night at the office. I'm of the thinking he will retain. I think he'll get his titles back. I really do. Because in lower weights, he had name value. Normally in the lower weights, you don't know about these guys, do you? Such in terms of, the media and all that. Vasily Lomachenko was well known. He was he was the prize fighter in lower weights.
A
lot of the time, these lower weights don't get enough publicity. Still, everyone's for heavyweight boxing, but there's been some fantastic fights at low weight. So, he's back. He's back. And as you say, Chris, hopefully a tune-up fight in between waiting for the winner of Lopez and Gambosis Jr. So we'll look forward to... Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. They've had all this time off due to COVID. Clapper, do it. Yeah, absolutely. Chris, I think you and Clapper could do some specials,
Hey, stop trying to chase yourself away. You could get in here. You might learn.
All right.
You might learn something with this.
I'm happy to say. I'm happy to take the back seat. I've got a lot going on me. But you have it. You have in life. To be fair, you got the kids. But yeah, in terms of doing stuff, I've got that much bloody going on, mate. I tell you. Right, Gervonta Davis.
And I think this picture, Stuart, mate, says 1,000 words.
Fire it up. Yeah. Now, we saw a size differential, not in terms of body size, but height. And beforehand, when we saw that, when the two were, in a face-off together. But Gervonta Davis reminds me of a lower weight division Canelo, whereby he's got that weight, he's got power, he brings the power up to super lightweight. He is now the WBA super lightweight champion. There's fights, there's big fights now for Gervonta Davis. Obviously, a protege of Mayweather. He's on Mayweather Promotions.
He was there as well.
Unbelievable. Well, what a performance that was. And then obviously, knocking him down 3 times, scoring that 11th round TKO. And there was 16,570 fans at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. It used to be the old Phillips Arena when I went for WrestleMania. Okay. But yeah, it's good to see these big crowds in now behind the guys as well. Not to take away from his victory, but I love the fact that we got the crowds back in, Chris. But Gervonta was a heavy underdog going into this fight. So if you'd have put some money on him, I think you would have come out with a lot of money. So fantastic performance. I'd say so. Chris, what were your thoughts?
I watched this fight today because obviously I didn't realize we were putting this on, and I completely forgot we were. My bad, obviously. I'm going to go straight into, mate. I'm not going to break any other rounds down until round 8, because I think this is where this fight comes alive, is from round 8 onwards. And I only watched the highlights, so I'm sorry, but I'm going to say that the first knockdown when he hits Barrios was like a rocket, mate, and he sent Barrios rolling, and he flew him to the edge of the corner of the ring, and I think that stapled everything. Then it completely changed the direction of the fight, because in the scorecards, Barrios was up, wasn't he? Barrios was up in the scorecards.
Thing is, mate, he just picked his moments. He wasn't flustered. He wasn't worried. What a performance! Now, I've heard about him, for years now, and it was like, right, what's he going to do? But this is now, he's a free weight world champion, and he's only 26. He's only 26. He's not even coming into his peak years yet. But that power, I don't know if he could go up another weight class, but I think if he can dominate at super lightweight from where he's come from, incredible. And there's fights to be made as well, because we've got Jojo Garcia taking on Fortuna soon. the winner of that, I think a lot of people think it'll be Jojo Garcia out of them too, but, don't write Fortuna off. And Regis Prograis, who fought Josh Taylor in 2019 as well. Big fights, mate. Big fights. And they're natural, at that weight class. You know what I mean? Gervonta's going up. I think it's incredible. He could be in for pound reckoning the way he's going.
It's scary proposition, mate. Scary proposition.
He's big. He's stocky. He's got power. He starts body shotting you. It doesn't matter. He can throw as heavy as any of the guys in there, I feel.
Well, he dropped Barrios with a body shot.
Yeah.
In round 11.
You've seen it with Canelo and the heavy punches go to the body. It's not always about the head, is it? If you've got power, go to that midsection. If they're in high guard, banging it, just whack one in. Go on a little flurry. Go on a little
shots, mate.
Go on a little flurry at the foothills of the Pyrenees if you have to. But yeah, you've got to think on your. I think you've got to think on your feet in there, haven't you? So yeah. What anything else? Anything else to add?
I think that's it, mate. I want to say thank you for Liam McGeary for jumping on. Thank you for the people that are reviewing this. I know that England and Germany are playing right now, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse having us on at the same time because obviously you want England to beat Germany or you want Germany to beat England, depending on where you're from. But we thank you for the comments. We thank you for being on. We thank you, Liam McGeary, for giving us his time before he went and trained. I thank Stuart every week for being here with me. Just thank you.
It's been a good episode. It's been fantastic getting Liam on. Wealth of experience in Bellator. And, we've learned some things there. Psyche going into fights. A lot of the time I worry about people's mental state. He could block that out, just taking away from what he was talking about. But, he's busy. He's busy with life and opening the gym. It would be interesting to see if he can get back in. Because Bellator, there is fights at like heavyweight, and you could see he feels a bit like he should be in that Grand Prix, but injuries, healing, stuff like that. Fantastic insight from Liam McGeary, and as you said, Chris, doesn't get enough credit because he was the first champion from the UK.
I think I was more angry than he was.
It just takes it in his stride, Chris.
It does, straight over the head.
Nice and relaxed about it all, which is great. So we will see you next Tuesday, 6 p.m. This has been episode 19 of Powerful.tv Big Fight Weekly from Chris and myself, Stu Palmer. Thank you very much for watching. We've enjoyed it. And England won 2-0. They're through to the quarterfinals, by the way. We'll see you next week. Big Fight Weekly, episode 20, 6 p.m.